Question 1. How do spaces like Performance Ensemble impact your college experience during and after?
Well, I would say with performance ensemble impacted me in a very positive way because at first I didn't even know there was a performance ensemble here. And my mentor, Edwin, aka Winnie, was helping Dr. J run performance ensemble, and he knew that I was a performer before I came into the program. So he really pushed me to do performance, and fortunately, we did a collaboration with Dr. Carrera Rowe and Dr. J for our feminist perspective class, where we were able to collaborate with performance ensemble and do our own pieces. And so when I did that, that really let me know that performance ensemble was a good place to express your voice. And for me, being an entertainer, I've been in the business for 20 years, 20 plus years. I just turned 40. Being a choreographer, creative director, dancer, I've danced with the stars, and usually our voice does not matter. A lot of times we are afraid to speak up when things are not happening properly, or just even about cultural things. I teach West African dance, I teach hip hop, dance hall, Afro Caribbean, Afro jazz, and there's a lot of cultural context that's in there. But in entertainment, they don't really care about that. There's a lot of appropriation, there's a lot of exportation of Black dance. And so, me being a company owner, I have used my voice to be able to create opportunities for dancers of colors and Black dancers. So coming here to a performance ensemble, being able to use my experiences as a performer in the entertainment and express that in a performance studies way, it impacted me to let me know that I do have a place to share my voice and people actually do want to hear what I have to say, instead of me being easily disposed or easily silenced because I'm a Black woman and a brown skinned Black woman. So I do appreciate Dr. J giving the creating an environment where we can talk about things that are painful and talk about things that have impacted our life in a negative way. So performance ensemble has been a therapy for me to be able to talk about the things that I couldn't talk about, and be well received. So I'm grateful to have that experience and also talk about my grandmother and her experiences with racism and colorism and things like that, be able to express that on stage in a entertaining and comedic way. It's almost like, don't laugh at my pain, laugh with me as I heal from my pain. So that's what performance ensemble has been for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for anybody that's interested in joining, I was a terribly shy person, and I was just here to get a degree and leave, and didn't really care what I was doing until I got peer pressured by a friend to join. Um, but what that ended up doing is it gave me something to do and it gave me something to be proud of, because for the first time I was able to speak up and I mean, I'm not projecting right now, but I was able to project on stage, and did things that were uncomfortable because they were uncomfortable. But it got me to think about things differently. And so now I take a lot of the experiences that I learned here and the perspectives that you learn from everybody, because since it's an incredibly diverse school, um, and everywhere I went afterwards, I was sort of able to apply a lot of those things there. And so it wasn't just that I was performing something, it's that a lot of the things that I've experienced, I was able to put on stage and people connect it with. And I was sort of able to do that outside of CSUN, outside of the performance ensemble. And we also got to travel, which is really fun. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just sort of discovering new parts of yourself that you didn't know that you had. I think a lot of people are surprised that I ever did anything on stage because that doesn't seem like me. And it's been one of the best experiences that I've ever had. So, yeah.
Are we doing the same question throughout? Sure. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm respecting your time. All right, so it was how did it affect our college experience and after, correct? So during my time here at CSUN, and I think you told me about it. I think you told me about performance ensemble, and I've always been somebody that likes to dance and sing and do things on stage, but I didn't know that we had a program like this, and that was so impactful to society and things like that. And so when I joined, it was like I entered a whole new dimension to my college experience. I didn't realize I could be in an academic space and have this much fun, and also make such a difference and change people's minds, and also create some of the best memories. Like me and my friend here, Fernando, we talk about our time in performance ensemble almost nonstop, and it's been like 7 years. Yeah, it's been a very long time. We graduated in 2019, and those memories just really stick out, and they they made a difference, in somebody's life, and that's the most important part. And I just feel like outside of the college experience, it affected me after, because I have all those wonderful, beautiful memories to have forever. No one can take that away from you. So yeah. Mm.
I kind of wish I wasn't sitting at the end. Everybody got some good answers over there. But for me personally, I joined the performance ensemble not because a friend told me. Like I said, I was a transfer student, and I was just really looking for community. With me being 28 years old of age, and a lot of my colleagues and peers are 8, 10 years younger than me. I didn't want, of course, that's not my personality. I'm not just going to fly by under the radar in general, but I didn't want to have a experience where I was just kind of going to class and kind of just going back home. I still wanted to be able to kind of be a part of a club or something without necessarily feeling like it was giving so much of my time away. So when my counselor told me about the performance ensemble, it was more of a situation where she kind of presented it to me. It was like, well, I see you need another class, and this is going to be your 3 unit, and there's no syllabus. And I was like, what? What? There's no syllabus? Okay. Let me go ahead and say what they're talking about. Okay, so I went and I saw what they was talking about, and for me, luckily, Dr. J was still teaching at the time, and she was doing the poetry class, and I had her in the ensemble class at the same time. And when I saw that she was the teacher, it just kind of connected, because I see Dr. J as a motherly type figure. Like, if I need something, she got my back. If I'm looking for help, I know that she's there for me. If I'm acting out, she gonna stop me, whatever the case may be. So when I saw that, it was just like, okay, maybe I am meant to be here, because the community and the teacher and the environment is exactly where I need to be. And as far as I was expressing and helping me further out, because I haven't graduated yet, so the second part doesn't really apply. But just as far as with Yamina and Gavin and stuff like that, we actually are starting to do art outside of just the academia field. We're starting to do outside art and trying to collaborate in that field. And if I wasn't a part of the performance ensemble, I might not have experienced those types of connections. Especially with people in performance. And if we all cool in class and stuff like that, but it's a different experience when like you said, we get to travel. So now you are in a whole nother state with this person, and you vibing out with this person, and it's like when you get back home, it's an experience that you're gonna have between like nobody else that you have in the class. You know what I'm saying? Or no other class that you have. So that's really what the performance ensemble gave me. Like I said, that community sense was really important, and it still delivers nonstop.
Wonderful.
And the question was like just the impact of performance ensemble. The impact of performance ensemble was quite. It just quite took over like my entire world and my life in the university. I finally, after I think it was like 3 years of my college experience here, I like realized I wanted to dance and I wanted to be more in my body and I wanted to make art. And I just jumped in and came here and didn't even realize that this was a space. I first started off as a CTVA major because I wanted to be a casting director, and then I changed. I got an African Studies minor. I was changing my major all up and down because I was like, if I'm coming here, I'm leaving with something. So I'm gonna leave with something. So I was like, let me change this because I'm not leaving with that. And then I found this, and I was like, oh, this is a mix between performative or performance and art, social change. speaking, and I'm a yapper, so I love to speak. So then it just kind of made sense. And then I finally really broke into like dancing here and being being into movement and the theory of movement and what does it mean to come together as a collective and be in our bodies. And that kind of really cracked me open to just kind of go on. I think throughout my college career, I was trying to find something. Like I said, I was gonna leave here with something, and I found it, right. But I just had to be vulnerable enough to like find it because you have to be really vulnerable. I think in performance ensemble for it to really like make impact. If you're not vulnerable, then you'll be like, what is actually happening? What's going on? I'm not really feeling this. But if you're vulnerable, you'll be like, oh, okay, bet this is what it is. And then like once you gain that skill of vulnerability and expressing yourself in the art form in which you might have by yourself in your room that you then show these folks once a week, um, that really means something that you could carry out to like other folks in the university, outside the university, even in your own personality, right? So yeah,